priorities lie. So let's go ahead and check out this 2015 Dodge Dart GT. Now, as far as styling goes on the Dart, I think it's quite distinctive, especially when you get to the rear and it has the signature Dodge LED tail lamps, the racetrack tail lamps. And the front end is also pretty stylish, and it's very distinctive in a class full of boring compact sedans. Now, essentially, the GT is going to gain 18-inch wheels, fog lamps, dual exhaust tips, and an even sportier suspension calibration that you can get with the Rally package. Now, here's the key fob design for the vehicle. I quite like the key fob design a lot, but it's basic Chrysler stuff here. You have your unlock, your lock to release your trunk, and then your remote engine start, and then your panic button as well. Now, it is a pitch black clear coat exterior with a black leather interior with red contrast stitching going throughout the whole entire cabin. Power driver seat controls, power recline, and 4-way power lumbar. Now, stepping on into the interior of the Dart, as you can see, it's a very stylish cabin, very high quality, and it looks very premium as well. And it does have a pretty low step-in height, of course. It is a compact sedan. And I love the Dart's very roomy and airy cabin. Compared to a car like the Chevrolet Cruze, the Chevy Cruze feels a little bit more confining. Now, you do have push-button ignition, of course. Just put your foot on the brake and hit the button to start. Coming to your transmission, you have a 6-speed automatic with manual shiftability. No paddle shifters, which is becoming very increasingly common in the automotive market today. Putting the vehicle into reverse displays your rear view camera, but I do have a problem with this rear view camera. Now, I do like how it is a pretty large screen. It's an 8-inch screen, by the way. The resolution is just extremely crummy, and it's probably one of the worst resolution rear view cameras I've ever tested out on a car. But that's just a minor gripe in my opinion. And then you have your e-brake right here. Let's go ahead and turn the lights. You also do have fog lights and the hazards. Automatic driver's side window. And let's go ahead and pop the hood and check out the engine bay. Full heated exterior mirrors with LED turn signals integrated onto the mirrors. Halogen projector beam headlights with your halogen projector beam fogs as well. Very bold front end. However, I do wish it had LED daytime running lights to give it a more premium look. But overall, the look of the car looks pretty good. Now, under the hood, you will find a 2.4-liter 4-cylinder. Now, this is actually the powertrain you will want to opt for in the Dart. Now, your base powertrain is going to be a 2-liter 4-cylinder. That is the powertrain you will want to avoid, as that provides very sluggish acceleration. However, this powertrain is the total opposite of that, providing very energetic acceleration. However, if you do go for the Aero model, unfortunately, you will have a very unrefined automated transmission. But like I said, this is the powertrain you will want to opt for. Now, expect 184 horses with 171 pound-feet of torque. Expect EPA numbers to be a very dismal 23 in the city and 35 on the highway. Even some mid-size sedans get better fuel economy than that. However, the Dodge says that it's as roomy as a mid-size sedan, but I don't really see that. I feel like it's still in the compact class. But however, bottom line is that this gets 23 in the city, 35 on the highway, and that is just not competitive against cars like the Honda Civic, the Toyota Corolla, or even the Nissan Sentra. Fuel economy is a very important factor in a key fundamental area in this class. Now, trims on the Dart start at the SE trim, which starts at $16,495, and then you have the SXT, which starts at $18,595, the Aero trim, which starts at $19,995, And then you have the GT model, which starts at $20,995. And finally, last, the limited trim, which starts at $22,995. Now, competitors of the Dart are the Honda Civic, Toyota Corolla, Nissan Sentra, Volkswagen Jetta, Chevrolet Cruze, Ford Focus, the Mazda 3, Subaru Impreza. It's a very competitive class. Now, like I said, coming to the rear, you have the LED racetrack lamps, which are a signature design for Dodge now. And like I said, with the GT, you get dual exhaust tips, LED turn signals too. Like I said, EPA numbers are at 23 in the city and 35 on the highway. Total vehicle price is $23,935. Your power windows, door locks, and your mirrors, of course. Nice soft touch armrest, which is very high quality. And then also soft touch on the mid door panel and on the upper door panel, which are very important places. Okay, now let's go ahead and rev up the Dart and see how that 2.4 liter 4-cylinder sounds. Very nice sounding. I actually like the sound of that powertrain. Now, material and build quality is pretty good in the class. Like I said, it is a very high quality cabin here. You have this nice premium stitching, very soft to the touch, and on the upper door panel, like I said, everything is soft to the touch in the most important places, which is a very important factor. Now, as far as driving dynamics go of the Dart, it's not as fun to drive as, say, the Mazda 3 or the Ford Focus, but it's not as boring to drive as, say, the Toyota Corolla or the Nissan Sentra. It's kind of middle of the pack in terms of driving dynamics. Now, as far as visibility goes, it's not that great in the class. It's actually pretty average. Glass area can be a lot better, especially outward visibility too. And seeing out the back, you have a massive C-pillar back there, and that really can get in the way and can create huge blind spots. Cars like the Toyota Corolla, Honda Civic, and the Nissan Sentra are definitely going to be better in visibility. Now, coming to the steering wheel design here, it's basic Chrysler stuff here. Over here you have your Bluetooth and your voice recognition, and then these controls right here control your center screen right there. And then your cruise control buttons are located over here, of course. And the steering wheel is leather wrapped too, of course. I'm not really a big fan of the design of it. I think it's just very dated looking. It just needs to look a little more premium looking and have a little bit more contrast, but that's just my opinion. But I do love the rim around the steering wheel. It has a very nice thick feeling, and I love that on steering wheels, how thick they are, and it just feels very nice in your hands. Coming to the center stack controls here, pretty basic stuff here. You have your dual zone automatic climate control, which is not really seen in this class. The Ford Focus offers it, but cars like the Toyota Corolla and the Honda Civic don't offer it, and those are actually the best selling cars in the class. But it's basic stuff here, very easy to use. But however, I do have one ergonomic gripe when you put the shifter into park, and can get in the way when you're trying to reach for the front window defroster or the rear window defroster, but that's just a minor ergonomic gripe I have. And then, of course, you have your volume knob right here, and then your tune button right here. Now, coming right here, down here you have your 12-volt power outlet, little storage cubby right there. And then coming down here, you have your cup holders. Coming to the center console, you will find your USB port, your aux input, and another 12-volt power outlet. And the center console storage is actually pretty decent for the class. Usually they're a lot smaller than this, but this is actually decent. Coming up here, you have the auto-dimming rearview mirror, garage home link, and your interior illumination lighting. Then your sunglass container. Headliner is also very high quality as well. Now, as far as seating comfort goes, the seats are mounted very high, and they're very oddly contoured, I have to say. I'm not really a huge fan of the seat design, but they're pretty comfortable for the most part. The middle portion right here kind of feels very soft, and then over here it's a very firm padding right here. But overall, they are pretty comfortable. They just don't have the best design to them. And like I said, they are mounted pretty high. Now I have to say, probably one of the best things about the Dart is the 8.4-inch touchscreen display. I love this interface, the simplicity of it, how big the buttons are and everything. I love the simplicity of it. And it's a very cleaned up design, as you can see here. Now, coming here, the responsiveness of the touchscreen is very great. Like I said, you have your different media options, including Bluetooth streaming audio. And for the 2015 model year, Bluetooth phone capability is now available for Android phones, finally. But you do have Bluetooth streaming audio, your aux input, and your USB port, of course. Heated steering wheel, which is not even found on some mid-size sedans in this class, like the Toyota Camry. Heated seats, of course, too. And then you could change your climate controls from here. But I just love the responsiveness of this touchscreen. Like I said, this is probably one of the best parts about the Dart. And then coming to your navigation, it's Garmin based. And I'm not really a big fan of the rendering of it. This is actually probably one of my only few gripes about this touchscreen here. Navigation is available, you don't have to get it, but it just looks a little childish in my opinion, and they just need to update the rendering just slightly. But like I said, you have your Bluetooth phone capabilities here. And you can go to your phone book, your recent calls, and then your dial. Then you have your text messaging. Sirius Travel Link, fuel prices, movie listings, sports, weather, then my favorites. Satellite radio, AM, FM too, of course. Then you have your tune button right here, or you could tune it like this. Very nice. But like I said, I love the touchscreen a lot. Now coming to your little information center right here, this is going to show you all of your vehicle information. Now there's many optional safety technologies you can get on the Dart that is not available on a lot of compact sedans, including lane departure warning, blind spot monitoring, which are very... Now coming to your center screen right here, this is basically essentially going to show you all of your vehicle information, and there's many safety technologies you can get on the Dart, including blind spot monitoring. But I love the graphics and the rendering of this center screen right here. It's a TFT display. And you can have a digital speedometer, of course. You can go to your screen setup, and if you have any stored messages, what radio station you're on, and then your fuel economy data, like your average MPG, and then your distance, then your fuel range, then your oil life. I love the center screen a lot, and like I said, you do have a digital speedometer. Alrighty, and as far as the gauges go, I love the gauges. They have a really nice race-inspired feel to them to make you want to drive faster, especially with that 2.4-liter four-cylinder. But I love the gauges a lot, especially the red illumination going around them. Alrighty. So overall, it's a very inviting cabin. Let's go ahead and shut down the Dart. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the vehicle, including the trunk capacity and the rear seat legroom. Now, coming to the door panels here and the armrests, they're also very high quality, carried through from the front, which is a very important factor. Nice soft touch on the mid door panel and on the armrest, and actually on the upper door panel, I take that back, it's a hard touch material that wasn't carried over, but that's the only portion that wasn't carried over. Now coming back here, this is where the Dart falls behind. Now if you're comparing this car to a mid-size sedan like a Honda Accord or Toyota Camry, the Dart is definitely going to be much worse in terms of legroom. Now, if you're comparing this car to more of like a Nissan Sentra or Honda Civic, this is pretty average for the class. But overall, the Dart's interior is like roomy. It's very wide and it feels pretty spacious. But back here, it's actually, the legroom is actually pretty dismal. Cars like the Toyota Corolla and the Volkswagen Jetta in this class are going to be much better in terms of legroom. And I actually have the driving position to where I would be, and I'm about 5'11", and it's actually pretty cramped back here. But you do have storage for your armrests, cup holders, and a little storage cubby right there, and dual mat pockets as well. You also do have a ski trunk pass-through. Alrighty. Now coming to the trunk capacity, if you're comparing to this car to cars like the Honda Accord, the Nissan Altima, and the Toyota Camry, the trunk capacity will be very dismal compared to those cars. Now if you're comparing it to more like of a Honda Civic or a Nissan Sentra, the trunk space is pretty average for the class. The rear seats do also fold down, 60-40 split as well. Full manual passenger seat. Your glove box compartment, which is very damped and is a pretty average size. Alrighty. So for the money, the 2015 Dodge Dart offers roominess, ample feature content, and abundant style. But powertrain and refinement weakness relegate it to mid-pack status in the small sedan segment. So remember that this is Cameron Birch from Cameron's Car Reviews.